To continue the story, the content creation economy is one of the fastest growing sectors in South Africa, contributing to estimated millions of rand to the economy in 2025. And it's projected to grow at an annual rate of 11.6% this year. Social media and influencer marketing expert Tandi Potgieter joins us now to talk about trends, opportunities, challenges shaping South Africa's content creation space and what this means for the economy. Good evening, Tandi, and thank you so much for taking time to chat to us this evening.
Good evening, Juliet. Thank you for having me.
Well, you've been watching the influencer industry in South Africa quite closely. And how would you describe its evolution over the last few years? And also touch on the types of content that seem to thrive in South Africa and why?
I think it's an incredibly exciting time that we're living in at the moment. People are really connecting more directly with people. Brands are realizing that there's communities out there that want to connect with real people, and that's really shifted the whole industry. So it's a very exciting time for us and a very exciting time to be an influencer in South Africa and of course globally as well.
If a creator is just starting out and wants to make money from digital platforms, what's the first thing they should do to run their creator business professionally, but also ensure tax compliance?
So that's the big thing now. And I think people don't realize, when you earn an income, you have to actually, say that it is an income that is coming through to you. It's a personal income, whether it's a business, personal income, you have to declare it. And I think this is nothing new. I think we're really just saying that SARS is now throwing a spotlight on that. And this affects every single influencer, from a nano influencer right up to a macro influencer. If you are earning an income, you have to declare it. So I think it's exciting. Anybody really can be an influencer at this point. If you have a circle that are connected and interested in what you are saying, you have an audience, and that's important. And so I think the best advice I can give for anybody wanting to start out is just get out there, connect with your community. What is your niche? What are you passionate about? And share that with your community and make sure it's authentic. I think authenticity, I know it's such a buzzword that's been overused, but it really, really is very, very important to bring that authenticity. And then obviously you will find your niche, you will find your community, and then they will really listen to what you have to say. And that's why brands are even moving more towards nano influencers at the moment. Even if you've got a small following, like 2,000 followers, brands are taking notice. And so it's a very exciting time, I think, in our industry.
So a question I think a lot of people would like an answer to is, how do you make money on TikTok?
So, there's different levels that you need to reach obviously to monetize on TikTok. But the big thing is just to start. With TikTok, it's basically, I say it's like your own reality show, and you just have to consistently keep posting on it. And of course, it's volume as well, but it's also quality over quantity. And I think that's where the shift has come as well, that you need to do quality content. The consumer is becoming a little bit more discerning in that way. And once you consistently build up that following, build up the community, you can then monetize it in various ways on TikTok.
Has South Africa seen an increase in the number of brands choosing creators opposed to advertising through traditional media platforms? And what would you advise creators to focus on to remain competitive?
Oh, it's been a huge increase. We're looking at, over 60% of companies saying that they're drastically increasing their spend on marketing towards influencer marketing. So, it really is a huge industry in South Africa, and something that really is a legitimate business. And I think that's something that I also want to touch on is that, we're talking about SARS, we're talking about, growing a business, take yourself seriously. If this is something that you want to do as a business, treat it like a business, register that business, make sure that you are, making a note of your income, keeping money aside for tax compliance. So there's a lot of different factors now that we need to look at. A huge thing in question is obviously trade exchanges as well, which is really coming to the forefront now that the spotlight is coming from SARS. So yes, so that's very important. And of course, as you were saying, are brands jumping on board? 100% they are jumping on board. How do you, make sure that you are at the forefront? And as I said before, really just create your niche. You'll find your audience if you're authentic, if it's cars that you're interested in and you authentically want to talk about cars. We had a great example of that, which we recently worked with an influencer who started her brand from scratch. And within 6 weeks, she had brands knocking at her door asking, to work with her. And that is because she posted consistently. She was passionate about what she was speaking about. They could see that authenticity, and she was getting the response, even though she only had a small amount of following at that time. Obviously, it grew exponentially and quite quickly. But because she was authentically excited about what she was talking about, that connected with her audience, and she grew overnight. And then, of course, the brands came knocking on her door. So they did reach out to her. And of course, as as an influencer, you can also reach out to the brands that you are interested in working with.
So much for chatting to us this evening. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. But that was Tandi Potgieter, social media and influencer marketing expert, chatting to us this evening. And I'm sure we'll catch up with her again at some time, because this is certainly something that's happening in South Africa and growing really, really fast.